Sumi Rajappan is in our bureau in Chhattisgarh. I want to go across Raipur at this moment. Campaigning has come to a close. Sumi, you've tracked this campaign from the first day. Describe the ebbs and flows that you saw and how you think this battle looks from your point of view once the last rally has been concluded.
Yes, absolutely. The last day of campaigning looked very colorful, and in fact, they were raising their sharpest knives at each other when it comes to the blame game. But what it looks like on the ground is it is going to be a very close call, and Chhattisgarh is going to witness the fifth election this time around. And in the last four elections, barring 2018, it has always been a close call. In fact, back in 2013, the vote percentage between both the parties was less than 1%. In fact, it was 0.75%, and the seat difference was 10 seats. The BJP had gained 49 seats, the Congress had gained 39 seats, and it got reversed in 2018 when the Congress had gained 71 seats, but the BJP was restricted till 15, but the vote difference was 10%. So barring 2018, every other election has been a close call, but this time around it looks very different. In fact, the Congress had anticipated that after the announcement of the farm loan waiver, there will be a wave that will be there in their favor. But certainly that is not the case within the farmers as well. The farmer community looks very confused at the moment, and in fact the women are miffed. They are miffed because the Congress had promised them a liquor ban, and in fact desperate times called for desperate measures back in 2018, and Congress desperately made that promise of a liquor ban and couldn't deliver that. In fact, gave multiple reasons as to why they couldn't deliver it. This time around, women have picked up that issue, and in fact, women are going to be a dominant role. In fact, they will be playing the dominant role because they've outnumbered the male voters in Chhattisgarh, and it is going to be interesting. And when it comes to the youth have been displeased. The unemployment allowance of 2,000 that were promised to almost 17 lakh registered unemployed youth, the allowance is going only to 1,30,000. These are the official numbers because of the stringent rules and regulations that have been put forth under the scheme. Despite the lowest unemployment of 0.1% in the state, the youth have been miffed as well. So, and there is a third front that is also going to play out in the elections, which is why all of these factors put together is going to make this battle a very close call. And in fact, who is going to have the last laugh, that remains to be seen.
Amitabh Tiwari, as an aggregate, do you think these assembly elections are likely to be more exciting than the Lok Sabha elections, given the unpredictability of the result in Telangana, Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh? Therefore, it just seems that there is more uncertainty, more excitement in these semi-finals than there is in the final in April, May next year.
Yes, it seems to be a tighter contest than the 2024 Lok Sabha elections as of now. And at least, I would say, 4 states are encountering a tight contest, including Madhya Pradesh, Telangana, Chhattisgarh, and Mizoram. See, what we have to see is that unemployment and price rise are one of the key election issues, despite the fact that the rate is low, which means that the Congress party has not been able to communicate its achievements with respect to these 2 points. That's number one. Second is that I beg to differ with Sandeep Shastriji. 1/4 of 12 to 15% of the voters will decide on the date of the voting, and 12 to 15% 2 to 3 days before voting, as per CSDA's National Election Studies, which means 25 to 30% of the voters are going to decide just 2 to 3 days before polling, and that's a big number to swing any election in a state which has always seen a very close election. And the closing point is that there is a high level of churning in Chhattisgarh. 60% of the seats change hands every election, despite BJP winning in 2008 and 13, which gives rise to the point that there is a high level of local anti-incumbency. That's why the Congress has changed 22 MLAs. 30% of its sitting MLAs have been changed. So there is a high level of local anti-incumbency. Satisfaction
Let Jawahar Suri Sethi explain that to our viewers. Why is Chhattisgarh so different from Madhya Pradesh? Madhya Pradesh electoral trends seem far more settled. It's a younger, newer state, sure, but their trends seem to be quite unsettled relative to Madhya Pradesh, where the trends, the regions seem to be more settled and more predictable.
Yes, Chhattisgarh is not predictable, and agreeing to the fact, the difference is very clear that in the 15 years of the BJP rule, a lot of things had happened in the state which were very good. And that is how it ruled for 15 years. But after that, in the last 5 years, they couldn't hold ground, and that's the reason why Congress came to power. The same thing is seen happening again after 5 years with the Congress. The same issues of corruption, lack of development, etc., are seen in these 5 years. The problem here is either the leaderships of both the parties have a lethargic term of 5 years in which they try to ignore after coming to power. This happened in the last 5 years. The first 10 years of BJP were excellent. So this is one thing and second good thing that has happened is if 23 MLAs have been changed, that's a sign that somebody is waking up to the public sentiment, which is good, because BJP we were thinking that BJP would change all the candidates, and that was the idea that was given. But we continued with the same old guard, which were present in the past government, which lost, which is something of a disappointment for the state as of today. So I think the changes in the Congress and the changes in the BJP are some things which make it a very close fight. The BJP going up and the Congress coming down, they meet at the middle ground.
Sandeep Shastri, the one big trend in the heartland elections, which is different from what we've seen in the past, is the BJP is going in without any clear face in Chhattisgarh, in Rajasthan and in Madhya Pradesh. The Congress is going in with Baghel, with Kamal Nath. In Rajasthan, it's a bit fluid. They're fighting under the leadership of Gehlot, promising that Sachin is also the face for the future. Does this hamper, in an assembly election context, the prospects of the BJP, where voters are saying, "Bhai, chehra kaun hai, who will come?" Or do you think the existence of the Prime Minister and the electoral machine is enough to overcome the handicap of not having a clearly defined face?
Rahul, what the BJP's strategy is in these states is very similar to what we saw in Karnataka earlier. Of late, the BJP has adopted the strategy of going into a campaign under the leadership of the central leadership and not necessarily naming a chief minister candidate. And this is clearly a strategy which they have planned so that the central leadership is the one which leads the campaign. Now, it did not work in Karnataka because in Karnataka we clearly saw the impact of local issues, and and this is one of the interesting ironies, Rahul. In Rajasthan, where the Congress party is in power, they have not declared a chief minister candidate, and in Madhya Pradesh, where the BJP is in power, they have not declared a chief minister candidate. So, a sitting government, that party seems to hesitate in projecting its sitting chief minister. And this is true for both the Congress and the BJP, which in a sense speaks volumes of the capacity, of the confidence that the parties have in the leadership at the moment in their respective states.
Okay, final words, Sanju Verma. What are you most worried about? Before the 17th, what concerns you the most?
You know, Rahul, I just want to say one thing, that while Prime Minister Narendra Modi, he is the tallest leader of the country, more so for the BJP, and is a game changer when it comes to changing an entire narrative. I think this time, the corruption charges against Bhupesh Baghel will continue to stick, and I'm reminded of that excellent interview by your colleague, I think his name is Saurabh Pandey from London Top. The moment he asked Bhupesh Baghel, forget about the Mahadev app scam, he spoke about Suryakant Tiwari, the businessman very close to Bhupesh Baghel and involved in the coal levy scam. Bhupesh Baghel was squirming. Then when he asked about Soumya Chaurasia, the IAS officer who has had to step down after being involved in the coal scam and is a very close confidant of Bhupesh Baghel was shifting shiftily in his seat when your colleague Saurabh Pandey asked Bhupesh Baghel, why did he change the delivery of online coal levy and royalties to royalties being now delivered manually in this day and age? Is it because he wanted to bring in opacity rather than transparency? Again, Bhupesh Baghel had no answers. Unke muh mein Fevicol jam gaya. And I want to say that don't forget, apart from the 5,000 crore plus Mahadev app scam, there is the 600 crore Chawal PDS scam. There is the 2,161 crore liquor scam, which the ED and CBI are interrogating, and where Bhupesh Baghel is purportedly one of the biggest beneficiaries.
Okay.
And most importantly, I just have to say this, that as Prime Minister Modi says, तुम्हारे पांव के नीचे जमीन नहीं है, लेकिन कमाल तो ये है तुम्हें यकीन नहीं है, भूपेश बघेल के पांव के नीचे से जमीन खिसक चुकी है और उनको तो इल्म अंदाजा तक नहीं है, and that will be his undoing.
Adil Singh Boparai, final words from you. Would you concede that the Congress's prospects are better in the semi-finals than in the finals? You know, there's a semi-final taking place in cricket. There, India in a commanding position, but here the opposition and the government both in contest, quite different from what is generally expected might happen in 2024.
Mr. Kaval, take it from me in writing. The Congress party is winning with a 2/3 majority. All naysayers will have to eat humble pie. And as for the BJP, repeating a lie 1,000 times does not become the truth. The people of this country have seen through your shenanigans in your lives. We are cognizant that agencies are misused, and the
You are
people
living in La La Land.
realize. People have seen an exemplar of the son of your cabinet minister seeking 1,000 crore rupees on electronic evidence. And they have seen how
Do you vouch for the authenticity of that video? Because you keep talking about it.
Why is she interrupting?
You vouch for the
Okay,
authenticity
Sanju
of that
Sprader
video.
goes down. Let Adil speak. Adil, go on.
BJP's delusion. The fact of the matter is, we are going to the hustings with our performance chart.
Okay.
We are going to the hustings with our performance when it comes to loan waiver, our performance comes to employment generation, healthcare, women's security, and this is what is going to take us past the finishing line, not the BJP's lies and the BJP's arrogance, which you just saw
Okay,
on your
so you've heard from the opposition, you've heard from the government, you've heard from the pundits. Now we wait to hear from the voter.